Hey guys, this is Dahmer's Cool Stuff, and this is my opinion on E3. Last year I did videos for each individual. I'm not doing that this year. I'm just going to combine them all into one. It shouldn't be too long. Who knows? Michael B. the Game Genie has just done an E3 review as well, his total view, and he's pretty... I agree with him on a lot of the things. So, check that video out as well. Link in the description, as always. Now, we're going to get this show on the road. I'm going to start with the Xbox One. Sorry if I have to squint, I'm not wearing my glasses for the glare. I will say this. The Xbox One presentation had a lot of games. Had a lot of exclusive games. The machine's a powerhouse, but it's very similar to me from a layman's terms. It seems the same as a PlayStation 4 technology-wise. What's in the guts, so to speak. The biggest thing is the still confusing DRM issue, and I know it's been raging war, so to speak. And here's what I feel about it. Is it the future? Yes. Are they competing with PlayStation 4? No. They're actually competing with Apple and the net boxes and whatnot. It makes sense, and one of my friends, through Facebook arguments, so to speak, or discussions, I'd like to call them discussions, because that's what they've been. Basically, yeah, they're not competing with the PlayStation 4 anymore. They're competing with Apple. And they want that market now. And Michael B. the Game Genie had also said, I like the name Xbox One. I get what it means. It's not like, oh, this is the first system. No, the Xbox One, the one being the one system that will do everything for you. It'll be your entertainment center. The problem with this is Sony did it with PS3, and we see how that went. But the price, $4.99 with Kinect bundle, and they're literally now cramming Kinect down your throat. I can deal without Kinect. I obviously don't own a Kinect. I've played with it a few times, and I think the only game worth a damn is Dance Central. And that's just me. With the DRM, why is it that Angry Joe's interview with Major Nelson, why is it that Major Nelson explained some of the policies on used games and whatnot way better than Microsoft's E3 presentation? I'm deadly serious. Microsoft dropped the ball when it came to explaining it at their presentation. We'll get into it a little bit later on why this is big. But they have explained it. And, it's interesting. Major Nelson basically said, you can share with 10 friends. None of them can be playing at the same time. But say, and I gave a general example. Say, I'm not playing Call of Duty World at War. I can give it to one of my friends and family that's linked like half a country away. They can start playing my copy of World at War on the Xbox One. Say I want to start playing it again. Well, okay, Call of Duty World at War, I stop playing it, I want to play it again. And boom, you can do that. Now say my nephew who lives in Florida wants to play Call of Duty World at War, and I'm moved on to the next game. Well, I can let him borrow it, so to speak. That's a lot better. They should have really said that during the E3 presentation, because it would have made a lot more sense. But now say I'm done playing Call of Duty World at War, and my nephew in Florida really dug it more than the other person I let it borrow. I can gift that game to him. The physical media, if I have it on a disc, won't work anymore. But he can have it installed onto his Xbox One, and I can gift it to him. You can only gift it one time, a game one time, and the person who's gifted to cannot re-gift it. But that's a lot better than saying no used games, selected retailers can only take used games. They really dropped the ball not only on just the reveal of Xbox One a few weeks ago, but on their E3 presentation of Xbox One. Now, I'm not going to deny they have a lot more exclusive titles, but let's be real here. Some of them are Kinect. I give two flying about Kinect. That's just how I feel. That specter of the shoddily explained DRM issue is going to haunt this company for the foreseeable future. The price point, a little bit, especially in the economy today. But I was there for, I worked at GameStop, full disclosure, whatevers, and I was around for the PlayStation 3 launch. And yeah, we sold out through our pre-orders when it hit that price point. And then after that, nothing. Like, it was a tough sell. The PlayStation 3 didn't start picking up steam, in my opinion, until the Slimline model came out and the price drop came out. Then a lot of people started buying it. Internet is still the same price. Xbox Live is still the same price. They're giving us 2 free games, apparently, from now until the Xbox One launches every month for Gold members. Unfortunately, the games that they announced, I've already bought, or you can buy them for $3 at GameStop or something. It's Assassin's Creed 2, Halo 3, and Fable 3. Let's be real here. I played Halo 3 5 years ago. The other thing people want to say, it's more like Steam. It's more like Steam. It's more like a PC. Yeah, it is. It's more like a PC. Microsoft has lost what a traditional concept of a console is. And they're doing something different. But the problem with that is going to be the traditional console market is already losing their over it because it's way too different than what a console has traditionally been. I'm never going to deny PC will always be better graphically, gameplay-wise, internet-wise, as opposed to a console. But the console market has always been able to, let me grab a game and give it to a friend, or let me have a bunch of friends over and play on one TV. Let me, have a couple friends over with a couple different systems, and we can just play various games all night. You can do that with LAN parties and, with laptops nowadays. But traditional console market is not used to a Steam model. Now, the flip side to that, Steam does amazing sales all the time. I don't think Microsoft is ever going to do these sales. Major Nelson said he couldn't comment that he sees that they could. But when you have games that have been out for years still at full retail on Xbox Live on demand, whereas you can go to a GameStop and buy it new for $15, yeah, not used, new, for $15, that's a problem. I thought you guys were saying digital media was going to cut costs because you don't have to print the booklets, you don't have to print the CDs, you don't have to print the cases anymore. I thought that price drop was going to be reflected. It's not. I think Halo 3 is $20 on demand. Come on, for real? But I don't really think they're going to do this crazy Steam sales that Steam does. And that's kind of like Steam's way of saying, yeah, we know you can't trade or anything like that, but here's 50 games for $10. Not going to happen. Also, a little thing called the Humble Bundle as well. So, I really don't think the Steam setup, so to speak, is going to work on the Xbox One because Microsoft is too greedy. There, I said it. And yes, I've been an Xbox Live member for 6+ years. It hurts me, and it hurts my wife, who's a really big Xbox girl. She's a Gears of War fan. We were playing Judgment the other day, and she's just like, looking at me like, we're not getting an Xbox One, right? I'm not getting an Xbox One. They also didn't announce a new Gears game either, which was like ominous, to say the least, about that franchise. Now, moving on. We are going to move on to the PlayStation 4 now, who, at least they're supporting Vita and the PlayStation 3 still. That's a good thing. I understand the PlayStation 4 is not backwards compatible, which is totally going against what Sony has said throughout the PlayStation brand, that it'll always be backwards compatible. Now they're backtracking that, which I honestly think is a load of PlayStation 3, at least when it launched, you could play your PS2 and PS1 games on. The reasoning makes sense. It's a cost-cutting maneuver, which is very similar to how they dropped some of the price on the PlayStation 3s by getting rid of the PlayStation 2 chipset. But, you have a half a terabyte hard drive in each the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Emulator on a PS3 shouldn't be that big, so to speak. Maybe in the future, and that's the one thing that the PlayStation 3 and Xbox introduced, new features can roll out easier instead of having to release a brand new system because you want your Netflix on the system. PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 just came up with an update. That's the best part about the hard drives and being, sharing that PC mentality, so to speak. You can easily release updates to fix or improve or add features to the system. So that's a plus. Weird announcement, Diablo 3. Yes, that's right, folks. It's been long rumored, but this bad boy game is coming out on the PS3 and the PS4. Will I get it? Maybe. Big maybe. I wasn't happy with Diablo 3 on PC. I don't do much PC gaming, but I bought that son of a and I was instantly upset, after a while. And it led to my Trilogy of Disappointment week last year, because that was the last straw, so to speak. It wasn't the same. So, take it as it is. Diablo 3 is coming out on the PS3 and PS4. I don't think the auction house stuff is going to be viable, considering, from what I heard, since I stopped playing, the money is worthless and items are worthless, and the market for gold is devastated from a glitch that happened. Oh well. They announced Kingdom Hearts 3, and I know it's multi-plat. I know it's going on the Xbox One as well, but it was the first showing of Kingdom Hearts 3, however brief it was. I squeed, my wife squeed. We were like, I've been waiting for the new numerical game for quite a while. It's one of my next quests, getting all the Kingdom Hearts games now that have been released. It's going to be a nice little fun project for me to do, learning that trick from Chargeback Forward. But Kingdom Hearts 2 came out right when we got married, and we were both unemployed at the time. So for our birthday, which we share, yes, we do share a birthday, 7 years apart, but we do share a birthday, fun fact. We played Kingdom Hearts 2. We played Kingdom Hearts 1, and then Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, and we played Kingdom Hearts 2, and we tag-teamed it. It took us 2 days to beat it. We did not sleep at all. Thoroughly enjoyable. Every now and again, we will go back to play it. It's just that magical of a game for us. It's not for everybody, but it's for us. It's fun. I can't wait to see what they do with it. I've been waiting 7 years now, something like that, for it. So please, let's hope that game comes out in 2014. And then they announced Final Fantasy Versus 13 is now Final Fantasy 15. And Final Fantasy 14, the MMO, is going on the PlayStation 3 and 4, I think. And I don't know. I really think Square has lost the meaning of what Final Fantasy should be. Now, I know it's not my right to say it, but they have gone way off. I really think the last great Final Fantasy game was 10. 11 I adored when I played it online. 12 was really good, I thought. The combat system was 11 inspired, and the Gambit system I actually kind of dug a little bit. But Final Fantasy 15, just, I don't know. It just looks way too hectic, way too intense, way too not action RPG, but like a Tomb Raider style game. Like a Gears of War style game, like a really fast-paced first-person shooter, even though it's not. It's the easiest allegory that I can give for it, that it just seems too hectic, too fast-paced. Strategy's out the window. Just throw things at people and, hope that you get the XP from it in a very linear XP grid style that you can customize your characters with. My biggest gripe about 13, too. In general, there was no need for that licensing grid thing that they tried, or whatever they were calling it. There was no deviation. At least with the sphere grid in 10, bring that back. At least bring that back, because the sphere grid in 10 actually did, once you got down to the nuts and bolts of it, was really in depth and really did lead to true customization if you wanted to give the time to customize said characters. So there's that. This is what I mean, and this was when Xbox One, and I've posted on my Facebook a bunch of times and commented on it. This is when I saw a murder happen. This is Sony murdering Microsoft's Xbox One. Plays used games, no need for internet, won't spy on you, $3.99. Now I know afterwards it came out, oh yeah, free PlayStation abilities, like online. You have to pay for multiplayer though, but I'm an Xbox fan and I'm an Xbox Live member. I'm used to it. I'd rather that happen so you can at least improve the servers and add more servers. Let's be real here. I don't play my PS3 online and I don't play the franchise anymore, but like anytime a new Call of Duty game comes out, sometimes it's hard to get on to play on the PlayStation Network because it's just so inundated with people playing. That barely happens with the Xbox because they can always constantly add new servers at will, ad nauseum. So I don't mind that too much. But here's the reference from how bad Xbox One's presentation was and how they really should have just had Major Nelson explain the DRM issue away. Because literally, I'll be honest here, he did. Major Nelson did a really good job in that Angry Joe interview that I saw, explaining away how devastatingly terrible the DRM is on the Xbox One. Some of you wrestling fans, I haven't watched wrestling in years, but I remember a match and a book specifically. Have a Nice Day, Mick Foley's book. Mankind, Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. Nobody remembers that if you look at the match as a total, it's a bad wrestling match. Barely tells a story, has way too many gaps in it, very, very slow paced. But you, like me, don't remember that. You want to know why we don't remember that? Because our jaws were on the floor when Foley was thrown off the Hell in a Cell through a goddamn table. We remember that. That's still ingrained in this brain. I can see it now, just happening, vivid as day, without even having to close my eyes or imagine. I can think, and boom, I see it happening. I see him getting thrown off by a shirt in his ass, him doing a half flip somersault, and the table just exploding. We don't remember the 10 minutes it took for Foley to get back up into the ring. We don't remember, and I probably have the sequence of events wrong, we don't remember Terry Funk coming down and just yelling at The Undertaker for no apparent reason, and The Undertaker choke slamming him. Then we remember them back on top of the cage, and Undertaker choke slamming him into the cage. And then the cage broke. And then Mick Foley took another death-defying bump that was totally unattended. We don't remember that in the totality of that situation, the match was pretty bad. We remember Mick Foley and the two sick bumps and the thumbtacks. That's what Sony did. Sony did the two big bumps and the thumbtacks. The game lineup, meh. Some of it was okay. At least we got to see how Watch Dogs play finally. And Assassin's Creed, yeah, it froze up, but you know what? So did Xbox One with Battlefield 4. So, who knows? But that's what Sony did. They literally just did the two flashy bumps, and everybody remembers it. Everybody's gonna remember that and the sharing video. Too late. No matter what Xbox PR tries to do, it is now ingrained in our brain, mine too, that I can play my used games, I can trade my used games, I can borrow my used games, I can have used games. I'm not going to have Big Papa watching me. The damage had already been done at that point. It's totally irreversible for the most part. And I don't think Xbox One is going to recover from that for quite some time if they do. So that's the big difference between the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 conferences. Sony basically hit you up with the two flashy bumps and a really mediocre rest of it, and Xbox One kind of let them do it to them. Now, Nintendo Direct. I know why Nintendo did not have an E3 conference. Game-wise, they had one of the best lineups of games for 2014. They had nothing to show at E3. They had nothing to show presentation-wise at E3 to warrant an E3 presentation. And you know what? I'm glad they didn't do it. I'm really glad they didn't do it. I'm actually glad Nintendo stepped aside and let the two big boys battle it out and just kept to themselves. Because you knew, after seeing Nintendo Direct, they knew that they had nothing really killer on tap for the end of this year. So that's why they didn't do it. And I agree with it. It's a cost-cutting move. Good job. I'm not faulting Nintendo. Good job, Nintendo. Really. Good job. I'm still getting a Wii U at some point in time. It's going to be a Wii U and then a PS4. So, good job, Nintendo. That is my hopefully not 50-minute E3 rant. This is my opinion. This is Dahmer's Cool Stuff. And as always, do good gaming. And Xbox, seriously, have Major Nelson start proclaiming these awesome features on the Xbox One. Please. I think you invested in a shovel company as well because you've been digging yourselves a really big hole.